Hello and welcome to Embrace Behavior Change, the place where overwhelmed parents can find relief. We are moving on to part two of a three-part series on making the choice to homeschool your child who perhaps may have an educational, behavioral, or medical challenge, and you want to decide if homeschooling would be a good option. So today, again, I am now talking with Tina Ramsay, and she is our special guest. Tina is a homeschooling coach, and in our first video, again, she walked through the steps of things you need to consider to decide whether homeschooling is right for you and right for your child as well as your family, because it takes the whole family to make it successful. So Tina, I remember when I was speaking with you prior to this interview, you had mentioned about you feeling, wondering, your concern was initially, would you be able to afford homeschooling because of the different expenses involved? Please share with us that concern and what you have since learned about homeschooling on a budget.
Well, that's how everything started for me, was homeschooling on a budget. And I went searching like most people do. When you don't have an answer, you go searching for information. And I didn't find much information in regards to how to successfully homeschool your child if you can't afford the high price curriculum that they have out. So I started digging. And so what I started doing was digging on Google, searching for free curriculum, searching for inexpensive curriculum, and I start building different things around my child's learning style and start changing my mindset that curriculum is such a vague word that we use very loosely, and we put a lot of stress in what our mind perceives curriculum to be of what we're exposed to. Curriculum is anything that you can learn from. Anything. That can be a newspaper, that can be a magazine, that could be a TV show that has a point. When we think of curriculum, we always think mostly, I have to have this big name, known homeschool curriculum in order for my children to succeed. And that's how I felt. I'm like, well, if I can't afford it, I'm not going to be successful. That's not true. Matter of fact, I have some of that high-end curriculum, and it does not even matter. It's just a name. It's just what you do with the curriculum that matters, or what you choose, how you use it to help your child. The curriculum don't help the child, you help your child.
Well, Tina, you talk about doing a Google search, and you know there's scope and sequence of how you're supposed to teach and to make sure there's no gaps. So how would you suggest one would begin to do a Google search and to prepare themselves for finding this budget-friendly curriculum and instructional materials?
So for those of you who are actually trying to build a curriculum on a budget, it will take some work on your part. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. The first thing that you need to do is, based on whatever grade level your child is in, or the age bracket that they're in, you need to try to find resources that caters around that specific age bracket, learning style. So say, for example, if I'm looking up, I'm trying to find educational kits. And so what I simply do, go to Google and I say free educational kits by mail, because you have to be very specific on what you're looking for. They do have free educational kits out there, but some are downloads only. So I was very specific on what I was looking for because I wanted the company to mail it to me. And so that's what I look, and I put free because I wanted it to be free. Free Good. Educational mail-in kit.
Explain to us what's in a kit.
Well, it depends on what is offered. Different companies offer different things. Actually, the government provides a certain amount of resources to homeschoolers for absolutely free. You just have to dig a little bit to find them. Like, I have got many free kits in regards to physics, where they send you like the comic strip story that is catered around a certain thing in physics. And then they have all the different activities and resources inside the box. You usually have to just outsource and buy maybe $5 worth of stuff and you go to Dollar Tree and do that. And then they have things dealing with science, things dealing with math. If you're looking for certain subjects, you need to make sure you add that into your search.
In your Google search.
Yeah, in your Google search when you're doing it. I have received many, many free stuff or inexpensive stuff from searching like that. And right now that's how I do all the giveaways that I do, because I end up having too much and it's usually for a limited time. So when I alert my audience to it at Homeschooling Oils, I let them know, like, listen, time is of the essence. You need to hop on it now, because usually it's only available for a short time. So you need to get into that window.
Okay, awesome. So parents, you hear this, you can join her. Is it your Facebook page that you offer these freebies, or let parents know where they can find freebies?
It's on my Facebook group and page, Homeschooling Oils, and I also share it in video form on Homeschooling Oils on YouTube. I actually open it up, show you how the kit look, kind of walk you through how I use it, or give you kind of like some ideas based on different learning types. And I actually let you see it, so you'll know whether or not you really want to get it or not. Because just because it's free, that doesn't mean it's for you, a certain item that you would like to use. So I try to help you see it before you buy it, to kind of like down source all of the stuff that we collect over our homeschool journey.
Good. So Tina, I definitely don't want to overwhelm parents. So let's back up for a minute. Did you go to your school system and get a scope and sequence so you can figure out what to teach next? Or how did you your initial year, what did you follow?
My first year, no, I did not go to the school district to get anything from them. It's out there. The information is available. So I went back because, see, my children was already in public school, and so I took them out. So I physically knew what grade they were in. And so based on the grade that they were in, I found information based on that. So you can easily Google, say, for example, your child in second grade, what a second grader needs to know.
That's
what
right.
A third grader, what a ninth grader needs to know. And based on that, you look at the table of contents, and then you can start checking off those and make it real, real simple. The library has that for free. You can get what does your child need to know. You can also go to your school, whatever age bracket your child falls in, which grade level. You can actually go to their school website and look and see what they're being taught in public school at that age and at that time. And then you just write down some things, what you want to instill in your children to make sure they're on that level, or at least as close to it based on how they learn. And you just create curriculum and create stuff around what they are actually learning in public school, but you tailor it to the way that your children learn, not copying what public school do, but you use that as a guide to know what direction my children need to have. Yeah, but you tailor it to the way that they learn, not copying what they're doing, but adjust it and do it the way that best fits your family and the way that they learn.
I think that's so important. Many people, we all learn differently and are able to function differently, especially when it comes to executive functioning, because homeschooling, you need to be organized. and that looks different for everyone. So, but there definitely should be something you're following, because that'll allow, like, as you said, to direct your Google searches. So you're just not out there looking at everything that a ninth grader needs to know. And also going back to what we said in the first video, once you figure out what type of learner your student is, what type of teaching style you have, what type of learning style you have, you can use specific words like kinesthetic learner or hands-on learner. You will learn those key words to use as you do your research. But I just want parents, you all, just to understand there are free materials. Don't try to get everything all at one time. Hook yourself up with homeschooling groups that already have a lot of material experience among those people in those groups. Tina is a part of one. Tina, which group are you a part? Are you in perhaps multiple?
Multiple.
Okay.
multiple, but
You're a
I am
moderator in one of them.
I'm an administrator in
Okay.
the it was the Black Homeschooling Support Group. We're now the Melanated Homeschooling Family Support Group. I'm also in other groups as well where I share information and different stuff like that. But I am one of the admins in that group. Um, and I really thoroughly enjoy it. And I enjoy going within other groups, just sharing information where I see where I fit in. And I love talking with the parents who feel that they have no way. I love to be able to assist them, to let them see that they're all that they need. They feel like they're lost, they're crying, they feel broken. And I love to go in and say, listen, honey, we have all been there. Whether we admit it or not, we have all had those crying moments. We have all had those and what am I doing moments. Let me tell you, you're not alone. That does not mean that you're failing your children. That just means that you love your children and you are going over and beyond the moon to try to do the things that they need. And so you just need somebody to kind of help you, hold your hand a little bit and map you through how you can get back on course. Because every now and then, with our homeschooling journey, we divert off our course a little bit, whether we consciously do it or not, because life happens.
That's right.
Life happens, and it can be a death in the family. It can be a financial struggle where someone loses their job. It could be a new diagnosis with a health issue. It could be several different things that can kind of throw you off. And that's going to affect your homeschool month, day, or year, and how you get back focused and pull everything back together, because we're only human. We're not perfect.
Good. Tina, do you have, I know you were just beginning to mention, we talked about how you can find free or inexpensive instructional material, but let's talk about now the supplies you need. Where have you found to get some inexpensive things to get you started to prepare your basic classroom, however that looks? Because again, through the deschooling process that you mentioned before, getting your mind wrapped around your child learns differently. So do you need a desk or do you need a tent?
Yeah. Well, it
So
depends.
speak a little bit about that.
Well, it actually depends on how your children learn. When I first started homeschooling, I'm going to admit it, I basically pulled what they was doing there and I made it my homeschool. Had the whole kit and caboodle side up traditional classroom. And because I didn't know. And I was like, why is this not working? Why is this not working? I had to figure it out. So I took the desk away. I had couches, comfy couches. I had different little fun little areas set up. And also I made like the whole house a learning experience. So every little nook and cranny that they could find something that was educational without feeling constricted to a traditional setting, because that doesn't work for everybody. I have one student who is studious. She can sit to a desk for hours and hours and hours and I can send her worksheets, books and books, and she just goes at it and and it's just like, wow. And then I have another child completely from another angle that he's not going to sit down all day. He has to move to learn. He has to have it in short periods. He has to have video, audio. He's not sitting down reading 24/7. You have to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I had like two different children that I had to figure out how, and I was trying to do them both at the same time. Like, okay, I'm gonna do them both at the same time, and this or that. It didn't work because it made more sense to me to micromanage my time that way. Like, okay, I could do this and that and this and that, and I didn't have the right foundation, I should say, in order to facilitate what I wanted to do until later on in life. I figured out the secret sauce, so to speak, of how I can balance her and him together on certain topics and certain subjects together, and they both have an engaging, fun time. But it took years for me to figure out that balance. But
And I think,
yeah.
Tina, you mentioned in the first video again about this journey. Parents, I would just want you to be patient.
Be
It's
patient.
just a journey. But back to the budget part of this talk is that listen to you. One child needed a couch, the other one could use a desk, but we can find both of those things in thrift stores, Goodwill. And I know you mentioned a little earlier on about the dollar store. So parents, a lot of times I would advise you, once you get your material, you don't buy anything until you get your material, because a lot of the activities, they'll have in there what you need, what you can make, what you can go again and get for cheap from Target or Walmart and dollar stores.
eBay,
Very good.
Amazon, third party. I don't know if they realize this, but Amazon has third party, I guess you would call them vendors or whatever. They actually provide things, and the Goodwill is on there. Goodwill is on Amazon. So I was able to get things for $3, $4. Then they add a little bit of shipping on it. And eBay is a great place. I'm telling you guys, eBay, do not underestimate eBay. eBay is a great place. I call it the online yard sale, for the simple fact that you can haggle the prices. And those of you who don't know what haggle means, just because you see that price does not mean that is the final price, because I have haggled down prices on eBay. Just because they said they wanted $20, $40, I end up getting it for $10, $15. It's different ways, or even sometimes $5, or sometimes I have even switched different things with someone from eBay. You just need to ask. So
wow.
You just need to ask. So yes, I have done it all, because I do my research and I see, well, hold up, they like this. Oh, and I have that. Let me see, can I talk to them a little bit about this? We can just make just a healthy little switch. You pay for your shipping your way, I pay for the shipping my way, and we're both happy individuals. And it has worked for me, and I'm no special case. So
that's
I
awesome.
love eBay. I love eBay for that fact.
Great advice. So now I want to just wrap up this session just by doing a quick recap, saying once you find your roadmap, you need to find a roadmap.
Exactly.
Like what's required in that grade. Once you find that roadmap, you know what type of learner you have, and then go look for that material and look for free or reduced materials. But again, I just want to encourage you to hook up with homeschooling groups, because they can really help you in guiding you in that area. And then 3, do not purchase anything until you go through the material that you have and you decide, this, I'm going to use this teaching instructional material, because you don't want to waste money. Inside those instructional materials, they usually tell you exactly what you need, and don't buy a lot. Just wait. Slow.
That's so hard. That's so hard.
I know we get so excited. But if you're on a budget, I just want to make sure you understand that you can succeed. And a lot of times you don't want to add stress to the family. Okay, so just be patient, and I know you can succeed on your budget no matter what it is. So be encouraged. Again, I would like for you to consider reaching out to Tina and all her wealth of information. Check her out on YouTube at Homeschooling Oils channel. That's where I learned about her passion for homeschooling on a budget. So go ahead and check that out, and be sure to reach out to her on other social media as well. Again, Tina, I want to say thank you, and to all our viewers, keep thinking, considering the best options for your child. Take care.